Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I am the shop owner behind Parcel Crochet. Please excuse my voice right now. I'm kind of getting over a cold, but I wanted to do this presentation today because I want to talk about holiday shipping deadlines, holiday order by dates. And I think it's important to discuss around this time of year. For my shop, it's important because I do a lot of Halloween costumes and things, but we're also coming up on Christmas before we know it. You know, we're under 75 days to Christmas at the time of this recording, so that's something you're going to have to start thinking about before you know it, and you don't want to be thinking about it only after you start getting a bunch of orders in. So what I want to talk about is, obviously all about, shipping / order by dates for your shop, and basically going over the who, what, where, when, why, and how of it in mixed order. So let's just go ahead and dig right in. A holiday shipping or a holiday order by date. I'd like to do order by date, not so much shipping dates, because people need to know they need to order by this time to allow for both your processing and your shipping information. So, it's an announcement kind of like what I have here. You're ordering my Halloween, be sure to check our listings for shopping tips. Okay. So it's just an announcement that lets buyers know when they need to order something in order to get it in time for whatever thing they're needing it for. Why do we do this? Why is it important? Well, you don't want to end up with someone sending you nasty emails in all caps. Where's my item? I haven't received it yet. If I literally got one the other day that was in all caps saying, if I don't receive this item in the next couple of days, it's useless to me. It's like, okay, well, you didn't say so. So, it's easy to get worked up and to get frustrated when you get those kind of emails. You kind of want to avoid them. And the best way to avoid them is, to try to be as transparent as possible about your deadlines, how long it takes for you to fill an item, and, how long it takes to ship an item. And the more you put this information out there, the easier it is to let your customers know and have clear expectations, and the easier it is to, point those people who are angry, like, this person, well, we have our information here, if you had let me know about your deadline in advance, we could work with you, but things like that are problems you might run into, and that's why you want to have these deadlines as much as possible. You're still probably going to get a few. I still get a few, even though I post it everywhere. But, I think it's really important to have. As far as who should be putting up these messages, again, I think everybody should, because so many people on Etsy don't buy for themselves. They're buying for someone else. They're buying for an event, or they're buying for a holiday. But specifically, if you have a lot of seasonal items, a lot of Christmas items, like I have a lot of Christmas, I have a lot of Halloween, a lot of costumes and things. So if you have a lot of these types of items, you're going to want to put up these announcements for people so they know what to expect and when they need to place their order. And that kind of takes care of the what, why, who. Moving on, the trickier part is the where and how. Like, where do you put these announcements and how do you make them? For me, you guys can see I put it in my banner here. I actually edit my image file, and I put an announcement right here. So if someone comes and views my shop, they got a little eye-catching thing and, information like, oh, what's that say? Okay, I need to go check on that. Excuse me. I also put it in my announcements. I usually date mine. I put them here. I leave up the holiday shipping deadlines year round. It's always in my shop. But I also update frequently, letting people know, when something is needing to be ordered in order to arrive in time. I also put it directly on my listings. Etsy has this bulk edit feature now on your listings. Before that, I was using Vella. But I put, again, a note right here. The very first thing they see when they go to a listing is this shipping note. One more thing I'm not going to show you right here because it's a bit trickier to go through all the steps. But in the shop manager, if you go into your settings, you can actually change that email that goes out after an order is paid for. And your customer will receive that order information in that email. And I put in a message there too saying, important, if you need this by a deadline, please contact me as soon as possible so we can make sure it arrives in time for your event. So those are, excuse me, those are 4 places I have been putting them in the past. Something new I'm also trying for this year, I'll pick on this listing again, is I am putting up an image basically telling people to go and check our order deadlines. Again, the idea is not so much, I didn't put the specific order deadlines in this image because I want it to be flexible. I want to be able to reuse it. You could do that. It'd be more clear, more direct, I realize, but I've got so many listings and so many things to keep up with. I wanted to just grab their attention and say, hey, just scroll down and look. It's right here in the description. So again, these are the different places I've put it. I found that the image actually made an incredible difference this year. You know, I was getting order after order after order after order after my my date. And, you know, that's when I start to panic because these people, I don't know if I should be like messaging them and saying, hey, this isn't going to arrive on time. Or, you know, I had one lady who received that email and they saw that message in there about, you know, important if you need this by a deadline, please contact me. She contacted me. She said, I needed this like in 5 days. Can we cancel this? So sure, you know, I don't mind doing the cancellation, but you know, I like to try to avoid those cancellations as much as possible because that's a lot of hassle and back and forth. And the images, within about 24 to 48 hours of me posting the images on here, I noticed an immediate drop off on the Halloween orders coming through, which, you know, usually you don't want a drop off on orders, but in this case, it's a good thing because, you know, those people that who would end up being unhappy because their item got there late, or people who would be, you know, messaging all the time, where's my order, or giving you a bad review because their item didn't make it in time. You know, is it your fault? No, because you have that information listed there. But, you know, they still didn't get the information they needed as quickly as they needed to, and they're still going to be unhappy. So at the end of the day, to me, it's more important that, you know, these people are happy than that I get one more order in before the end of the season. And, you know, it does make a difference. In my opinion, I've had a lot of people really thank me and appreciate that I go that extra step. So I do think it's worth your while, you know. Now, I've showed you all the places that I personally put these images, and I was going to show you real quick how I manage these, how I make them. I use a program called Canva to make my images. It's literally as simple as coming in here and selecting one of these templates and then just plopping your images in. For example, I used a Facebook post one for these images, which basically give my shipping deadlines. They also have somewhere in here an Etsy banner. I don't remember where it is off the top of my head. Oh, there it is, Etsy shop cover, Etsy shop icons, you know. You can just go ahead and click on one of these and then plop your images in here. You know, if you go in, obviously you'd have your own. You can just literally plop in an image, go in, start typing in. Shipping, I'm saying shipping by deadlines. And write whatever text you want, you know, but it's very easy to use. It requires an account, but it's free. So, I mean, if you're really kind of new to this, Canva is a pretty easy way to go. And it's really simple to create one of these in about 5 minutes. Come over to your shop, you know, upload it. You can upload your existing banner in here too. You don't have to just upload images and recreate everything and start from scratch. You know, you can pop your whole banner in here. Whoops. Just pop one in real quick. Your whole banner can just go right in there. Just re-upload it over here in Canva and then put your text in there. You know, just pop that text in below there. So it's really, really easy. It's not something to be afraid of. It's not something that's too difficult. So, you know, if this is a concern for you for the holidays, you know, go ahead and get that done. Super easy. Same with, again, the listing photos I showed you a minute ago. You know, I just create a standard message here in Canva, plop my images in there. You know, I customized mine a little bit for the holidays because I thought it would be kind of cutesy. Again, just something really basic like this. And it's just things that are, you know, these are my images, obviously. Canva has ones of here. If you don't have your own, you want to just do something to catch people's eyes, you know, you can go look for Halloween and they'll show you free images you can use. There are paid ones too if you want to go that route, but there's all kinds of stuff in here. So, you know, really, if it's little stuff like this that you're worried about, don't worry about it. There are easy ways to get your messaging out there in attractive ways to your customers. So the important thing, again, is just to think about it in advance. plan something and get those images and those messages out there to your customers. The only other thing that leaves us with is when to post your messages. Now, for me, I am living in Turkey. I'm from the US, but living abroad. So that means I have to be very mindful of my shipping times. And I know approximately what they are. So year round, I'm always kind of keeping tabs on things. I also use this app here called Parcel, and it works on Macs only, I believe. But it basically lets me know every step of the process, and it gives me little updates. So if I want a real quick one-stop shop for how long it took everything to arrive and where it is now, this is an awesome little app that I keep track of things with. There are other ones that work for PCs that sync to your phone that do all of these different things. Again, I just use that one so I know exactly how long things are taking. That gives me an idea. Like if I know my average shipping time is 2 weeks, I can tell people, definitely want to order, 3 weeks, 4 weeks out in advance just to be safe. The other thing you can do is you can check your postal service. I found this one. It says the 2017 USPS holiday deadlines are here already. So we do know, approximately when you want to post your cutoff dates as far as shipping. Now, this is domestic for the U.S. because I think most people in Etsy are from the U.S. But if you're not from the U.S., you can go check with your local carrier, your local courier, your local post office, your local provider, and they'll have this sort of information too. But again, there are ways you can find this information. You think about that, and then in addition, also think about your processing times. And I would say allow a little bit extra time in case you get busy. Like this Halloween, for example, my processing time is usually 3 to 5 days, but I had a week where I had over 20 orders popping in, and I'm having to make everything by hand as I go. My inventory was depleted like almost immediately. So like the last few weeks, it's been insane, and I've been like getting 10 orders a day and couldn't keep up. So, I had to extend those processing times out to 1 to 2 weeks, which means, if I'm not thinking about that possibility, that kind of throws off my deadlines. So you have to, again, try to plan in advance. Like I'm saying already, over a month in advance for December. I want people to know it's taking a while, because of things like that. And I will reevaluate this again, probably come November, based on my order volume and how I'm receiving the holiday shipping things. But again, this is something I care about a lot because I get a lot of it being abroad. You get a lot of questions about shipping, and it's never good to have someone who's angry at you when you're trying your best to get everything going. And what I found is a little bit of transparency with your customers goes a long way. People do appreciate that. I mean, they're human too, like you and me. I've gone online before trying to buy something, and I click on it. It's like, oh, I love that. I want to buy it, add to cart. And then like, oh, wait, I should go back and check all this information. So again, just try to think like your buyers, understand and appreciate the shopping process that they have to go through to get your items. And, a little bit of research on this kind of thing now, especially before the holidays hit, can go a long way. So that was just all I wanted to cover today. I hope it's helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas. Again, I really encourage popping up these little photos here. Try giving that a try. If you run into this kind of problem regularly like I do, this made a huge impact this year. So that was the big thing I wanted to show you guys. Other than that, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I want to say thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great, successful holiday season. Bye.